Yeah, welcome to my channel. It was the final episode of Only Murders in the Building for season five. I honestly thought this was going to be the final season. I thought this was the series finale, but the way they ended it, I was like, okay, are they setting up for season six? It sounds like they are setting up for season six, and the fact is that they're going to go to London. It seems like, based on the fact that the character from season three, or season two, sorry, is in this. She was basically killed. It was interesting how everything was coming together at that point. I'll say this: for a season five, it was it was entertaining. I'll put it that way. It was entertaining. The mayor, sorry for spoiler alerts. The mayor um, threw me off guard. I kind of figured something was up with the mayor a little bit because, like, once they had the mayor's uh, assistant in the final episode, I was like, all right, it's got to be the mayor. I think most likely the mayor probably killed Lester. Just the question is why? Now seeing what it is and why he killed it makes absolute sense, and that was pretty interesting and stuff. I mean, um, the weird part was I was a little confused about the ending of Tia Leone with the grandmother. Like, she basically was like, it sounds like that was her mother and she was done with her, or was it her ex-husband's mother and she was of course done with her. I don't know, it's hard to say, but it sounds like that was her mother. She was done with her and she was like, you can pass, I'm good, I'm happy. And the children themselves, of course, the grandchildren, aka, uh, they're full on fools or idiots in a ways, but it seems like they'll survive. And of course, Howard gets his love life in place or in order, and Lester the robot. I mean, it's pretty cool. Now the question is like how all the other residents, because like they were saying towards the end of it, like there are new residents. It feels like they're not going to focus on them. The fact is, like, if they're going to do what I think they're going to do is basically for next season, go towards London, then I kind of makes sense from that aspect. Of like, all right, if there's going to be a seventh season or eighth season, these new residents will be part of it at that point, and it works off of that. I don't know. Time will only tell. But I'll say this: it still had the nuance of like season one, which was pretty nice. I like that part. It had the same nuance as season one, uh, and the nice tie around of each individual episode was pretty interesting as well. Like, as far as there's a each thread led to the next episode, which was great. And then the fact is, the final episode showed otherwise at that point as well too. And the other aspect is it was fascinating how Lester did die. Where I was like kind of confused, like, if he died, why wasn't the mayor ever caught on camera? But he was wiped out. The mayor was wiped out from all the camera angles. So that was pretty interesting, and I could see why Lester knew, knowing full well. I mean, it was interesting that Lester knew or had the awareness to know that there was the bird watching camera bringing out the bird well, so it would activate the camera. Unfortunately, it didn't make sense as why he didn't immediately activate it. That was the surprising part. But if he did, it would have been interesting at that point as well too. It probably would have saved a lot of things at that point. And the fact is, like, Lester basically sending the message, uh, it's beautiful. Reality is it was supposed to be the mayor. I'm surprised he didn't just basically say it's the mayor, it's the mayor. But I don't know. But like I said, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this season. If you didn't, um, I'm not gonna say, hey, something's wrong with you. I mean, to each their own. Quite honestly, I will say this though, I am looking forward to a season six if there is a season six. Time will only tell. The one thing though is, I will say this: this season had more profanity than I anticipated, which means they're definitely gearing it up where they don't want this to go towards network. They want it to be fully on Hulu, aka under Disney at that, eventually Disney Plus. Once Hulu Plus, is removed and everything, all the titles fall under Disney. But like, as I'm saying, basically this is it was a little bit more profane than I thought it would be. Um, but then towards the end, it kind of like inched inched away from it. So there was that aspect. But again, it's not made for TV. So I don't know if Disney's hoping to get more users to come onto the platform, and they go put it on ABC. It sounds like basically broadcast TV is pretty much dying. It's dead at this point, unless it's the sports. But that's even dying now at this point. Where like you don't even need broadcast; you just stream it out to whatever at this point. So broadcast TV, like the FCC, is not going to be able to do anything with the internet at this point. So to be honest, I think if all the channels or all the shows decide to go on streaming, they're like screw the FCC. We don't care about that, and we can do whatever we want at that because there's no true governance, quite honestly, under the streaming aspect of things. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this season. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy this season of Only Murders in the Building, season 5? Um, you're welcome to leave your comments in the comment section. I do read them all. I do respond to them. Let me know if you like this video as well too, because if you like this video, that means you like this content, me reviewing more of shows and movies and such versus my sports. If you've seen my video, seen my the rest of my videos under my channel. But as always, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.